Yo, what's up, guys? I love budget stuff for anything that's cheap. That fits me perfectly. Today I'm bringing you a really cheap PC around $140, and you know how to get you a flipping video. Let's get right into it. Hopping right into the video, guys. I'm on my way to pick up the first deal. It's a whole computer for $100. He had it listed for like $300, and I lowballed him. You gotta do that. His wife got mad at him and he wasn't gonna sell it, and then he got mad at his wife, so now he's selling it to me. So I just gotta stop at the bank and then we'll go get it. Got the cash. Let's go get the computer. Alright, finally getting this PC home. One funny thing, when I met up with the guy, I asked to see if it was powered on, and he's like, yeah, the system's really slow due to the fact that it has a 1050 Ti. He's like, I don't know how people run systems with 4 gig cards. And I'm just sitting there, bro, that's not your problem. I'm just there thinking, yo, the fact that it has a Pentium in it is your problem, dude. Like, I feel bad for him. He's thinking his graphics card sucks. Like, don't get me wrong, the 1050 Ti is not the best, but damn, running a Pentium with the 1050 Ti? Whatever, man. Upon getting the system home and unscrewing the side panel, it nearly exploded. It just fell off, probably due to the sheer amount of dust in the system. The only fan in this system, minus the CPU cooler, is completely caked in dust. I'd be surprised if it still spins, and on top of that, the stock Intel cooler is covered too. After taking it completely apart, we find the true parts in the system. Under the CPU cooler, it has the Pentium G3258, which is a depressing CPU. With 2 cores and 2 threads, and the base and boost clock of 3.2 gigahertz. The motherboard containing this embarrassment of a CPU is an MSI H81M E33. It isn't the best. VRMs are basically non-existent, and it only has 2 RAM slots. For RAM, it has 1 stick of 4 gig of DDR3 clocked at 1333 MHz. The most exciting part is the GPU, the GTX 1050 Ti for the Win Edition. Out of all the 1050 Ti's I've dealt with, I have never had the chance to have the For the Win Edition. I think it's saying we're going to get a pretty good flip on this system. Then it just has a WD Blue 1TB hard drive, 430 watt EVGA power supply, and an old and very dusty Thermaltake case. So, my plans for this system. The fact that it has a Pentium, but it's on the 1150 socket type, I'm going to be throwing in an i5 4430. Since it only has 4 gigs of RAM, I'm going to be throwing in another 4 gig stick, make it 8 gigs. I would do more, but there's only 2 RAM slots. And then, my last upgrade part, an SSD to make it fast and snappy. So back to the i5 that I said I was throwing in. It's an i5 4430, has 4 cores, 4 threads, a base speed of 3 GHz, and a boost speed of 3.2 GHz. So the total cost of this build is roughly going to be around $150. The system was $100. The i5 4430 I got a while back for $30. The RAM stick I'm throwing in got a while back for free actually, and the SSDs that I get off Amazon are like 19 something, so like 20 bucks. So $150 with a total build. It's gonna have the H81 motherboard, i5 4430, 8 gigs of RAM, stock cooler, terabyte hard drive, 120 gig SSD, 430 watt power supply, and the awesome 1050 Ti. And then, you know, the case. Oh damn, there's dust flying around. I haven't got a chance to clean the parts, but we'll get to that. Talking about the flip just for a second. This is probably going to be the easiest flip of my life. It's actually the day after I picked up the deal. I got a little bit busy, but I don't have to add much, and I already have all the parts on hand, and the build cost is going to be super low, and you know what that means. Profit margin super high. And any tips for you guys? Patience is key. Biggest thing. Patience is key in finding the good deals. So as I said in the intro, all these parts are completely dusty. It's kind of nasty actually, but we're gonna get to cleaning that, and I'll hit you with a quick time lapse. Damn, them parts were dusty, but we just got done cleaning it, and I cut myself. I don't know if you can see that, but I shouldn't have knives. I shut the damn knife on my finger, but you know, whatever. I ain't gonna stop doing this, so whatever, keep cutting me, I don't care. But here's a before and after of some of the parts, starting off with the fan. And then the CPU cooler. And then finally, the GPU. But anyways, now that we got the parts all cleaned up, let's just get into the build process and maybe another quick time lapse. Let's hit it. Finally done with the build. Now let's talk about a few problems with it. First thing are the RAM slots. The little arms or notches or whatever, the top two broke off. I believe it's because the CPU power cord goes right above them and maybe knocked them off, but at least it still holds the RAM in there, so I didn't have to get a new motherboard. So that works. And another thing, as I was saying, the motherboard, it is not the best motherboard. It's probably the cheapest motherboard you can get of this model. It doesn't even have a USB 3 header. So I used a USB 3 adapter to normal USB header, and I'll have links to that down below if you guys need it for your builds. And then last problem, the side panels. They have a hard time going on. They're all bent every which way, so I kind of had to bend them straight to get them to go on in the back one. It didn't go on as easy as the front one, mainly because cable management is hard in this case, and it was bent. But anyways, with those problems, we still managed to get this awesome build, like for $150, and that's just so exciting. So let's boot it up, move Windows over from the hard drive to the SSD, boot up some games, and get those benchmarks going, and then we can list it. Alright, sad days once again. Keep having these sad moments. The PC, it won't boot. It booted up at his house. I've tried this graphics card, obviously. Tried another 1050 Ti. I tried booting from the CPU. I think it may be the CPU. So I'm gonna swap back to the Pentium, see if it boots up. If it does, then it's this i5. Then maybe I can try to update the BIOS and then try putting this back in. Maybe it's a BIOS, but I think it might be the CPU. But let's try. Alright, we got the CPU in there. Let's plug it back in and give it a shot. I'm not seeing anything. Well, shit. Okay, so it wasn't the CPU. I'm gonna put the i5 back in there. Try with the RAM. Alright, power back on. Faulty RAM stick. Let's go. The i5 worked. There we go. Okay. So I'm putting the graphics card. I have another free stick of RAM, believe it or not. So I'm gonna try out this one, but this one's going in the trash can. Let's continue. Starting off with the time spy, it got a total score of 2,444. Of course, testing in Fortnite in 1080p with pro settings. So epic view distance, everything else low, and with 80% resolution scale, it managed a 128 FPS average. The temps were pretty good, with the CPU around 50C and the GPU around 60C. Final game is Cold War, and in 1080p medium settings, it got an average FPS of 58 Then in low settings, it got an average of 57, which is weird, but whatever. It's still pretty playable. We only tested 2 games because we want to get it listed as fast as possible. Just tested those games. I'm so relieved when I get past this point because it means we can list it. But let's talk about those temps real quick. As I was saying in Fortnite, it was staying pretty cool. The GPU reached around 63C and the CPU reached around 52C. Alright, so I'm going to be getting it listed here soon and right after this talk. I just got to take some pictures of it, type up the ad. But the final price was $149.57. The full computer itself costed $100. The CPU that we added in, the i5-4430, cost $30. And the SSD off Amazon was $19.57. So I looked up all the parts on eBay if you were to buy it yourself all online, and it was a rough price of around $417, and I like to add $50 to $100 for my time. So I just rounded all the way up to $500, and I'm gonna list it. Hopefully we sell it tonight. That'd be awesome, because I need some money. But anyways, I'll get it listed and I'll catch you guys when I sell it. Alright guys, it looks like we're selling the PC. I put the ad up. It's probably been about 4 hours. It was completely dry. I had no messages. But then I had someone message me and they said they'd come right now. I love when people are like that. No negotiating, nothing. They're just like, all right, come right now, cash in hand. The time is actually 8:12 p.m. right now. Anyways, they're about an hour away. I'll try to record it when they get here. Sorry, man. I was in a game of Apex.
Oh, bad.
Oh, shit.
Falling and shit. Sweet. So like you said, it could play just about everything.
Yeah. Except like Cyberpunk.
There's that too, anyway. I'll bet, yeah. I don't need to play Cyberpunk. It's for my girl anyways. I got a 1680 on this shit, so.
So, yeah, there it is. It powers up, man.
Sweet.
I don't have any games. I wipe it before I list it, but you're feel free to check anything out.
Yeah, for sure. No, I'm good. Thanks, dude. Oh, yeah.
We just sold it like maybe an hour ago. I've been playing Apex, like I said, so I'm now doing the outro. But like I said, this is the easiest flip of my life, actually. I bought this PC yesterday, listed it today, sold it this day, made around $350 profit in 2 days. You know, that is not too bad at all. I'll throw the exact price breakdown up on the screen right now because I can't think of numbers right now, but it was around $350 profit. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, drop me one of these down below. Consider subscribing. Also, check out the flipping series. I have a bunch more of these videos. I'll have them linked down below. But anyways, I'll catch you guys next time, and peace.